Thomas goes too far. One morning, Bill and Ben, the tank engine twins, were on their way to work. The quarry wasn't so busy at the moment because there was a lot of snow and frost everywhere. Thomas was collecting his trucks. Bill and Ben arrived. "Hello, you two." "Thomas, what are you up to?" "Nothing," said the twins cheekily. "Nothing at all." And then they hurried away. "Nothing, eh?" thought Thomas. "Looks like mischief to me." Thomas was right. The twins are up to their old tricks again. They went to Wayside Village and they saw the snowman that the children built, and they hid behind the station platform. Sir Handel was coming into the village station with his coaches. "Hello, Sir Handel." "Who said that?" wondered Sir Handel. "I did," replied a voice. "And right next to you." Sir Handel looked round. There was no engine to be seen. Then he saw the snowman next to him. "That's not possible," said Sir Handel. "Snowmen can't speak." "But this one does," the voice replied. "I'm a talking snowman, and I know every engine's name." Sir Handel was surprised. "How do you know my name?" "I just do, and I know what's going to happen next. Close your eyes and count to 10. So Sir Handel closed his eyes, and as he counted, Bill and Ben crept forward, and when Sir Handel opened his eyes, Bill and Ben whistled so loudly, and they blew smoke and covered Sir Handel. The twins laughed and ran off. "Come back here now!" shouted Sir Handel. Thomas was thinking about the twins. "They're always playing tricks in this weather," he said to himself. "I'll be glad when the snow goes away and they won't be able to fool anyone." A few days later, the weather changed. As the snow gradually melts away, Thomas was pleased. It means he doesn't need a snowplough anymore. He went to the fitters' yard to have it removed. "Now that the snow is going away," he said, "at least nothing can go wrong." But that's where Thomas was wrong. He met Bertie on his branch line. "I'm glad you're here, Thomas," said Bertie. "Melted snow has made a big landslide and blocked the road. I can't take my passengers to the station." "No problem," said Thomas. "I'll take them for you." "Thanks," said Bertie. The passengers all climbed on board Annie and Clarabel, and Thomas set off. "Don't take that line across the bridge," called Bertie. But Thomas didn't hear him. Later, Thomas met the twins at Welford Station. His train of trucks were waiting for him. "Here are your trucks, Thomas," said Bill. "Thanks," said Thomas. "Now I can take them to Wayside Village Station." "They need to get there as quickly as possible," said Ben. "Take that line over the bridge across the river." "Right," said Thomas. "That'll be much quicker to go that way." And Thomas set off. Thomas didn't know that melted snow had made the river over the bridge risen, and the water was right over the track halfway across the bridge. Thomas saw there was quite a lot of water on the track and decided to slow down, and as he approached towards the bridge he went right over the track that was half flooded, and the water sluiced into his cab and he hissed to a halt. "Oof!" groaned Thomas. "Help! I'm stuck! The water is spoiling my fire!" His driver and fireman stepped out from his cab. "This is terrible," said the driver. "We shouldn't have come this way," said the fireman. "But the twins told us to," said Thomas. Then he remembered. It was another trick. Thomas was very cross. His driver and fireman went for help. Thomas was left all by himself. There was worse to come. It started to rain, very heavily. "Bother!" he groaned. At long last Thomas was rescued. Stepney arrived with the Fat Controller. He was cross. "Thomas," he said sternly, "you know it's not safe to cross this bridge when the river's too high." "Bill and Ben told me to take this track," snapped Thomas. "They've played a trick on me again." "I thought this might have been some trick," said Stepney. "It means it's not Thomas's fault." "Well, Bertie did tell me he warned him not to come this way," said the Fat Controller, "and I thought Thomas ignored him." "I would never ignore Bertie's warning," said Thomas. "I might not have heard him." "Then I'll be having words with Bill and Ben later," said the Fat Controller. Thomas had to stay in the shed for some time. There was a lot of water stuck in his boiler. He was still cross about the twins playing such a dangerous trick on him. "That's the last time I'll be taking the quickest way when these two suggest it," he said. Edward came to see him. He felt sorry for Thomas. "It's not your fault," he said. "I think the best way to avoid their tricks is to ignore them." Next morning Thomas met Bill and Ben at a junction. "I'm sorry, Thomas," said the twins. "We didn't mean to get you into trouble." "Well, you did," said Thomas crossly. "And I know which way I'll be going the next time the weather's bad again." And Thomas puffed away, leaving Bill and Ben feeling very ashamed of themselves.